All right, we recording. Hello, planet Earth. Good to see y'all, man. Good to see y'all. What's going on? Just sitting here messing off. Thought I'd say hi to you guys for like, I don't know, maybe 10 or 15 minutes. Sometimes I chat with you guys about life for a long time, don't I? And then sometimes I might talk to you about, I don't know, peanuts or maybe banana and peanut butter. That's like a really popular subject lately. Everybody wants to know, how do you eat peanut butter with bananas? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm listening to baby metal. These, I mean, they're not young, like 10 to 12-year-old Japanese heavy metal babes. These girls are in their teens now, just killing it. And I think the lead singer's already in their 20s. But have you guys heard of baby metal? Johnny Lightfoot, he's the one that made my brain cells realize, wow, there's heavy metal out of Japan. And we know that we always knew that rock was just completely always just really popular in Japan. Like, you know, back in the 70s, if you're a little older like myself, it was like Cheap Trick at Budokan. It was a live album on par with like Peter Frampton, because he had Frampton Comes Alive. What put Kiss on the map was Alive 1 and Alive 2. And live albums sometimes they just kick ass. They're just awesome. So when Cheap Trick came out, I wasn't a big fan of their first albums that were kind of produced. It was Cheap Trick live at Budokan. I'm like, Budokan? Is that like a booty call? Way before like the hip hop term came out, like, hey y'all, like speak to the hand, man. I got to go on my yacht on my helicopter because I'm going to get me a booty call. I'm like, booty call? Cheap Trick played there. So I thought Jay-Z and Yo Mama and G Mama and Post Malone Yo and Little Bitch, Little Peep, Little Pipsqueak, Little Kotex, man, all those guys, they're my favorite hip hop, y'all. Like, yo, booty, like booty call, y'all. You can tell I'm Mr. Hip Hop, can't you? Yeah. Give me rock. Give me Bay City Rollers. Give me Cheap Trick. Give me rock, baby. All right, Salt Lake, I know the image of Salt Lake. I grew up thinking I was pretty darn cool in a place called Santa Barbara, California. Santa Barbara, man, it's like, man, surfing, BMX, biatch, kryptonic skateboards, buddy. I was Pauly Shore 10, 15 years before that. So when Pauly Shore came out and said, yo, buddy, get some noogans in the tushy. Yeah, come on, little nib, yo. I'm like, that's how my friends spoke in the 70s. So when Pauly Shore came out, and Encino Man, and is it In the Army? And it's still, what is that other one where he goes? It's the Pauly Shore one where he's in college. That pretty girl wants to go back to her hometown, like on the farm, which is like basically my Draper family from Iowa. And he's like, Mr. Yo, come on, let's get some noogans. Show me the boobage, yo. And then he goes back to the farm with the pretty girl, you know, and then like the guy that looks like Tom Cruise is all jealous and he tries to make Pauly Shore mess up and the family's laughing at him. And then by the end of the movie, it's like Pauly Shore is like in love with the girl and it ends happy. Those are my favorite type of movies. Anything that ends happily ever after, I'm like, that's me, because I'm Mr. Romance. I'm a guy that just likes to light fires, get myself nice and cozy on the couch, maybe in like a onesie. And I like to watch chick flicks. I can fake cry. I actually took an acting lesson from Corey Feldman. Guess how much I paid for it? This is 1997, by the way. Lived in the Elkwood Apartments. I looked in this like big mailer on how to get in the acting business or how to do this and all that. And I'm like, I don't have enough knee pads to get in the film business, but maybe I get on the production side. And there was like an article that said acting lessons. And I'm like, well, God, there must be 1,000 trillion acting teachers down there. But one said Corey Feldman. And then it was like, from the Goonies. It didn't say like Lost Boys, Dream a Little Dream. I can't remember all the other big ones, but once I saw Goonies, I'm like, oh man, I'm taking acting lessons from a Goonie, because that's considered one of the best movies of all time, right behind Gone with the Wind, The Wizard of Oz, and pretty much Scarface. So boy, I'll tell you what, when I walked in acting class that night, first thing I said to Corey, I go, Corey, except I'm Cory and you're Corey. And he's like, yeah, I get that a lot. And I'm like, look, you little bastard Goonie. I just gave you $75, no tax, cash, because I know that little bastard took that money and probably went and partied on it with powder that's the color white. So that is my acting experience it's a thespian, because I went into the thespian section of the City Weekly in Los Angeles, and I thought I was going to hang out with lesbians, because I like lesbians. Lesbians they're entertaining to me. We share a lot in common. We kind of like to look at girls and go, man, those are hot babes. But I became a thespian that enjoyed lesbians for $75. One special night with Corey Feldman, right by the Oakwood Apartments, across the street from Universal Studios, right down from NBC that goes into, Walt Disney and whatnot. So I know what I'm talking about when it comes to acting. I learned how to cry, because when I looked at my career in the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, and when I looked at myself today in the mirror, holy shit, I do a lot of crying. I cry a lot. And it's not because of Corey Feldman. It's because I don't have an E in my name. And that really upsets me as a man. I was always Cory. I don't even have a middle name. It's the letter J period. That's right. I knew what periods were before girls in 3rd grade did. I have it in my name. Boom. I came out in the 60s in Santa Barbara at Cottage Hospital. I have a period just from birth. So imagine the cramps I had in 1st grade, 2nd grade, 3rd grade, 5th grade, 9th. When do girls have periods, right? Don't you start periods around 26? So yeah, most girls don't have periods until their mid-20s. I was dealing with periods like by 1st grade. So imagine the pain I had on my sides. And aren't periods, I mean, it's discomfort and a lot of pain. And aren't periods caused by guys? I know. I'd be a lesbian. I don't blame you. If you're a girl out there and you prefer girls, like to go out with, hang out with, maybe kiss, and accidentally like maybe do things underneath the blanket late at night. I've heard horror stories at band camp with flutes. I can only imagine what half the friends on my Facebook page have. I want stories, but they can't tell me, because they know darn well that I get excited and I probably go on my live Facebook feed here at almost the midnight hour. And I'm killing time right now, because guess what I'm doing at midnight? I don't have my rock and roll watch on. Look at that. Damn, I forgot. Here's my watch anyway. It's called a stupid cell phone. At midnight, my friend has massive video game galore at his computer store. So I got to wait until midnight to go down there and hang out and get a part from him, because he's cool like that. Not only is he a heavy metal singer, but he is also a guy that says, hey, if there's a bunch of wild maniacs on a Saturday night that want to play video games at midnight instead of chasing lesbians. And I've chased lesbians my whole life, and they do not even want to go out to the movies with me. I just thought I thought a true lesbian wanted to just be in the movies and act and stuff. I've even pretended to be in the movie business. Not one lesbian has ever wanted to be in one of my movies. So on a Saturday night, I'm going to go down. I'm in $8 shorts from Walmart. I'm not wearing shoes because it's still warm enough right now where you can just wear sandals, guy sandals. I don't wear those little bitch ones. I put on man sandals. My sandals are like $12. You see those bastards? They have they're cushy. Because when you're an old rocker like me, it's all about the cush. I used to, chase tush, but now I'm more excited about my cushy sandals on a Saturday night, going to meet all my friends playing video games at midnight on a Saturday night. And just down the street 1 mile is a full nude strip club. Now, sure, I probably want to go there, but it's pretty pathetic when you go in a full nude strip club and you're the only person that has silver face, grandpa Kentucky Fried Chicken beard. So I'm embarrassed to even go in a strip club, because if they go, who's your daddy? They call me, who's your granddaddy? They go, hey, granddad, what are you doing in here? Are you Vice? Are you a cop? Do you have weed? What are you doing in here? Give me $100 for 3 dances. I'm like, settle down. I'm in the movie business. I'm looking for some lesbians that want to maybe act in my movie, because thespians is actually the way to pronounce it. And I didn't know that. When I was in LA in the 90s, in the film business, I got 3 paid. Someone was dumb enough, and my agent was Bill Balance. If you watch the end of, oh my God, Baywatch and every show back in the 80s and the 90s, there was Bill Balance, and I think it was called Central Castings. So when I left radio for the 100th time, I went down to LA and I moved in the Oakwood apartments. They're right next to NBC, right across the street from Universal Studios. I lived in the same building as a great thespian that I think married a lesbian named Eric Estrada. Now, if you're a little older and long in the tooth like myself, you guys remember CHiPs. 1978 to 1982, I think, was probably some of the best television ever made. Oh, you always hear Seinfeld. Oh, it's the best show ever. Oh, you got to watch Modern Family. It's a delight. Bullshit. I watch CHiPs, bitch. While you guys are like, watching sitcoms and a guy going, I can't believe it. I can't believe cereal. Why is it called cereal? Because I see it, and is it real? But do I need to call cereal cereal? I'm like, for the life of me, I've tried to watch Jerry Seinfeld show. I can't be more bored. Because was there a car chase on a badass bike on the freeway? No. Was a guy named Ponch with bigger teeth than a horse, chasing babes on Seinfeld? No. No, they're talking about cereal and shit. I'm watching CHiPs, bitch. John Baker, blonde hair guy. I'm watching Ponch get chicks. I'm watching the grumpy captain going, now look, guys, there's a murderer out there on the streets. I want you guys to take it easy. The next scene, it shows Ponch, Eric Estrada, chasing chicks while eating hot dogs, while his blonde partner, what was his name, Officer Baker? He was all pissed off. He was an okay-looking guy, but he wasn't Ponch. He wasn't Eric Estrada. No one can probably compare to that bastard back from 1978 to 1982. Everybody wanted to be Eric Estrada. Me being what is called a honk-e, I'm a white guy. I can't look like Eric Estrada. Isn't he like a Mexican guy or an Italian guy? I remember he was born and raised in New York, but I couldn't emulate Eric Estrada watching CHiPs, probably the best TV show ever made. And I say that with all sincerity. I went to acting class. Don't make me act. If I take my tips from Corey Feldman, and I'm going to give you a tip from Corey Feldman at the end of my shindig, because I have about 20 minutes to kill before I go down to my friend's computer store, and I'll probably broadcast live. All of us nerds are going to be down there on a Saturday night. Guess how many girls are going to be with us? None. There's not going to be thespians or lesbians in our presence. But most of my friends have hair down to their ass. So if you squint like I do, and you watch our live feed down there in about, maybe within an hour, it's going to look like a bunch of chicks are with us. But no, my friends are all in heavy metal bands. So maybe we'll have to shave one of my friends, put a bra on, and we'll say, God, man, the chicks are hot down to here tonight on a Saturday night at midnight. Man, we're going to get some thespians and lesbians down here tonight. I doubt it. We're all going to be at 3 a.m. wishing we had girlfriends, watching reruns of CHiPs, the #1 show of all time. Now ask me, well, Corey, when Eric Estrada got pissed off, he got a little conceited, and he thought he was the star of the show, not all those other delightful characters. But granted, he pretty much was the star of the show. He quit the show. They hired a guy that's probably the most sexy bitch that's 70, that used to have a penis, and now he doesn't. Ladies and gentlemen, he was a decathlon guy. He was on Wheaties. He somehow pretended to have sex with Kardashian anything. I'm talking Bruce Jenner. I say that with all humbleness. I'm almost not worthy to say his name out loud. Because #1, he threw a discus. I thought he was having sex with hot thespians and lesbians back in the 70s. He was married. He wore shorts so tight that you could check his pulse from channel 7 through 11. But yes, when Eric Estrada quit, they hired Bruce Jenner, who was on a Wheaties box, for God's sakes, going like this, throwing spears and shit. I thought he was throwing spears of love and getting all the hearts of all those women out there. Little did I know that he was shaving his legs, tucking his wiener in like Silence of the Lambs. Because you guys all remember Silence of the Lambs. You remember when that guy was naked and he goes, put lotion on the skin. Everyone says that. My favorite scene in Silence of the Lambs is when he tucks his wiener in between his legs and he's naked looking in the mirror or the camera and he's freaking the F out without his Wang Chun. That's thespianism. That is a thespian acting like a lesbianism with truism. I admire that. That was my favorite part of Silence of the Lambs. But the lotion on the skin is pretty good too. So I'm watching CHiPs. It's a pretty badass show. But Mr. Shiny Teeth, Mr. Mr. Ponch and John, he was like cool enough to be both. He quits the show and they hire Bruce Jinder. It didn't work for shit. After like 7 episodes, they're like, no, we got to pay Ponch. We got to give him $3 million a year, which back then was like on par with the biggest. I mean, he was making more than movie stars back then. So imagine I leave radio for the 100th time. I go down to Los Angeles, a lonely place, a cold place, a place that's kind of broke with shitty streets. It's overcrowded. If you walk down streets at night, you're either going to have a guy going, hey, how much? And I'm like, I don't sell weed. They go, oh, no, you got long hair. How much for that ass of yours, even though you're 53? I'm like, oh, I can still make money with this ass? Well, I don't know, 25. What's in for, what, $50? I mean, that's Los Angeles. Or you can go on Sunset Boulevard and go to the Rainbow and pretend that it's still the 80s and, Bang Tango, Axl Rose, Lemmy still playing his video games, and, there's just like sex, drugs, and rock and roll going on while you're ordering pizza with porn star Ron Jeremy in the corner. Now, I was there during those time frames. That was fun. But let's just fast forward 30 years from now. There's still guys there. They look similar to me. They're long in the tooth. They're tired looking all the time. Somehow they still have long fried hair, and I know I should get a haircut. I hear it every day. But then we go down to the Rainbow and we talk shit about the good old days nonstop. No one's more full of shit than us guys in our 50s that likes that rock and roll. But boy, if you want to go down to the Rainbow tonight, I guarantee you half that crowd are people that pretended they were in bands, or they used to be in bands, and right now they're working next door at Kentucky Fried Chicken, and they got off at 11 so they could go over at midnight when the fun actually begins. Now, when I go down there, I don't talk about the old days. I talk about CHiPs, the best television show probably of all time. Even the movie that came out a few years ago with Dax Shepard, it's a damn good film. I laughed the whole time. And, the action and the sequences were badass. CHiPs is so badass. I have a good buddy. His name's Robbie Knievel. His dad is Evil Farkin Knievel. May you rest in peace because evil is dead. Robbie Knievel used to live in Utah. And that son bitch, he used to come on my radio show. I'd go to his house. I'd watch his videos. We would laugh. We'd sing. He even met his wife at my nightclub Rascals. That's pretty effing cool. I would rather talk about that. Because when I names drops like that, I get no chicks whatsoever. I don't even get one. But I get like 3 likes on my Facebook page going, God, that's kind of a fun story. And I go, thanks. And then I go to my friend's computer store at midnight, and then I have to get my long-haired friends that look like hot chicks like 1980 so I can go to the Rainbow and pretend that, how great it was in 80 to 89. But I'll tell you what, when I went down to Los Angeles and I lived in the Oakwood Apartments, I shared the same building, letter K. K is in quantum physics. Isn't that how you spell it? Or how do you spell Corey? K-O-R-Y? I don't know. But whatever starts with the letter K, I did. I lived in K123. I was so stupid, I had to tell the building, like, can you give me like an easy apartment number? Because I'm kind of long in the tooth even in the 90s. So, but I remember I was in building K123. And I and my buddies, Jeff, Val, all my friends, they helped. They went down there. They stayed with me. I took them on sightseeing tours and all that stuff. But I will never forget. It was 1997. I shut my apartment, which was worth, I could literally buy a mansion in Salt Lake for how much I was paying for a 1-bedroom apartment just because it was next to Universal Studios and all the, and Warner Brothers and Disney and shit. But man, I shut that door. And I'm ready to go down to Taco Bell, kind of right where that big water tower is at Warner Brothers. Everybody that's been in that area knows that Taco Bell. It's the only place to like get a quick bite to eat and go back to work in the movie business. So I shut that door. And I'm not looking that great. Kind of like how I look right now at midnight on a Saturday night. I shut my door. I turn to walk out of the building, K123. And who the F do I walk into? Ponch. True story. I'm not being full of shit. I walked in to probably the greatest actor of our time on television, Eric F. Estrada. And he had silver gray hair like my face. This is what his color of hair was. And he was just as cool as possible. You know what he said to me? Say, get the fuck out of my way. I'm trying to get out of the building. What do you want? No, he didn't say that. I didn't even acknowledge that I idolized Chips back in the day, where Robbie Knievel did stunts. Bruce Jenner took over for 7 episodes for Ponch until they signed him a big check and he came back. I didn't bring up, oh man, I'm such a fan. I grew up in the 70s and the 80s as a little boy wanting to ride a motorcycle. I really didn't want to be a cop, but if I could get the hot chicks that he got on Chips every week, holy shit. Even the lieutenant, the boss of Chips back then, his son is Chris Pine in real life, the star of Wonder Woman. I mean, the reboot that came out 2 years ago. You know Chris, the love interest of Wonder Woman? And who doesn't know the reboot of Star Trek 1, 2, and 3? Now, I know Mexican. Uno, dos, tres. When I speak to my Mexican friends, I speak to them in their language, Mexican. So when I'm telling you that Star Trek Uno, dos, tres is freaking grandito, el obesimo culo yo loco cinco se, wow, titi, $50, I know what I'm talking about. I just asked the girl that was at the donkey show if she would like do something to me for $50. I know how to talk like that. I've been to Mexico, bitches. I've been to Tres, Quincinto, Clemente. I've been that. I've been there Valtrex. I've been there Valtrex. What's Valtrex? Isn't that's like 15, I think, in Mexican. So I've been there. I've done it. I'm a guy that has lived the tales. I'm full of shit, I know. Why do you think my face looks like barbecue sauce exploded on it right now as I'm sitting here waiting, killing 12 more minutes so I can be with you fine folks? Then I'm going to go down and hang out with some rockers with hair down to their asses. And we're going to talk about the old days. We're going to talk about Star Wars. We're going to talk about boobies. We're going to talk about probably heavy metal bands that you've never heard of. I'm pointing to you and you. See you in China. That's right. I'm talking to you too. And there's always like 3 or 4 people masturbating while they watch my late night clips. You know how I know? Because on the inbox, they tell me. Now, if you're a thespian or a lesbian, I want to know about that. But my friend Chuck or Bob in like Toledo, I don't want to know that shit. Like, yeah, man, I was just hanging out. Whenever it's midnight, I can always count on you to come on and kind of talk shit for a while. I was just sitting masturbating, watching reruns of the dating game with Chuck Woolery. I'm like, I have friends that tell me this shit. I don't want to know. Send pictures. No. So anyway. All right, man. Well, I got to meet Eric Estrada. I said, hey, what's going on? Something like that. I didn't freak the F out. I didn't tell him that I was a big fan. Ponch, John, motorcycles, Robbie Knievel, jumping shit, Bruce Jenner, when he had a wiener. That's right. He rode a motorcycle, pretended to anyway, for 7 episodes with a wiener. I have one. It's not the biggest. It's not the best. It's kind of tan looking, and I don't know why. It might have to be because I've been in a tanning bed once or twice the last 40 years. But it's a pathetic thing, and I should cut it off like Bruce Jenner. But I, for the life of me, can't believe Bruce Jenner is now Caitlyn. I'm like, wow, that freaks me out. Who knew that Bill Cosby was going to be in jail the rest of his life? But it's pretty cool he is, isn't it? Who knew O.J. Simpson? Yeah, and he didn't do it, right? I mean, God, can you believe it? He was framed. I can't believe they put the knife, the blood, the Bruno Maglia shoes, all the evidence. I can't believe it. Man, they framed his ass. Can't believe it. Man, who saw that coming? Thank God OJ's out in Vegas now golfing, right about literally 1.5 miles from my house in Vegas, right by the Red Rock Casino. All you Vegas people watching, or if you go to Vegas, on the west side, there's the Red Rock Casino. On the other side is a beautiful mountain range where people hike and drive their car and horses called the Red Rock Canyon. But there's Red Rock Casino right across is a golf course where there's houses. That's where O.J. Simpson lives. I'd love to run into that piece of shit. Would it be kind of fun pretending that you're golfing? Or the way I look like a guy that would like fixing a sprinkler head. But would it be kind of fun to go up to him and go, oh, hey, man, what's going on? Hey, how's it doing? Good. Yeah, nice day, and it's kind of hot. And then punch him right in his face and knock that piece of shit stone cold out and then stomp on his nuts a little bit. I'm into that. That's right. Normally I don't talk about my friends' nuts or people that kill their wives as nuts, but it would be kind of fun to kind of stomp on O.J. Simpson's nuts, like 5 times, maybe 10, and then hurry and call TMZ. In my case, I'd go live on Facebook and I'd film myself going, I just punched O.J. Simpson out cold And I'm upset right now because my brand new shoes, these bastards right here that cost me 12 bucks with, look at how, they have those cushy soles. So when you walk, they're like this. I mean, they're awesome. But I do a live selfie going, damn it, I got blood all over my new badass cushy sandals from Walmart that were 12 bucks. That's right. I got OJ Simpson nut juice on my sandals. That I would film that. And of course, Oprah would put me on her show. She'd pretend to give a shit. I'd go on Larry King because he's almost dead. He's married to one of my friends here in Salt Lake City, but she just got cheating on him. So he just divorced her. He's on wife number 8, by the way. And yes, I am talking Larry King, the 80-year-old talk show host on CNN. I'm Larry King. I've been married 8 times. Who wants my death money? I'm going to be dead in about a week or 2. Who wants to marry me, pretend to love me? Someone just rub my nipples, and then you can have half my cash. One of my friends did that, except it didn't work out because if I read the divorce decree right, that all those millions she's getting is going to be a little less. So pretending to like that shriveled piece of beef jerky on Larry King's Wang Chung, she should have probably just like called Bruce Jenner up and said, hey, I heard you're throwing dicks away. I like to collect them. You have one of those extra dicks, Bruce Jenner? And Bruce would have said, oh yeah, I got an extra penis. Would you like me to FedEx it to you? Or I'm in Vegas a lot. I'll just bring it over to you. That's my impression of Bruce Jenner, who probably has the sexiest voice that I've probably encountered in the last year or two. Because I just watched that Alec Baldwin roast. Have you guys, I think it's Comedy Central. It's like all free on YouTube now. You want to see something funny? Damn, watch that Alec Baldwin roast. It's pretty brutal. It's funny. And that Bruce Jenner, I'll tell you what, he had the balls. I mean, in mind, body, no more body, but in spirit. In mind and spirit, he had the balls to show up. And boy, they went right after that guy's nuggets. Holy shit, his Wang Chung. Everybody Wang Chung tonight. Wow, that Bruce Jenner, man, that guy knows how to take it. Likes to take it right on the chin, doesn't he? I mean, like this, like Mike Tyson toughness, not like, we all know. So, all right, well, you know what? I have sat here and I have bullshitted myself for 15 minutes. By the time I hop in my truck, get down to 7-Eleven, buy me something ice cold, I'll be at my good buddy's store. And I'll go live maybe. I'll do a live remote, like radio time, where I'll pretend I'm live on the air giving away free hot dogs for the first 100 people to come down and pretend to buy a piece of furniture. I can do that. All right. And if there's a girl with me, my God, wouldn't that be nice? I have a feeling it's going to be kind of like, is it called a sausage fest? I'm pretty sure I'm going to be with a lot of guys. But like I said, their hair's longer than most girls. So I will feel at home down there. So, all right. I just wanted to say hi real quick. Hope you guys are having fun. Saturday night, I'll tell you, Utah killed it tonight. I mean, listen to this. Just tonight alone, if you could like split yourself up into 6 pieces, you could have went to, let's see, Ghost. They're at the Maverick Center. They're a very good band, although I think they're lame because they wear masks, and they're like 55 years old wearing masks. Get rid of the masks. Even Lady Gaga goes, this is kind of dumb. Let Kiss do the makeup. Let Avenged Sevenfold, where most of the band was Hillary Duff's band. But when they hit their 50s, they go, let's make some rock. So they put makeup on to cover their old Kentucky Fried Chicken faces. But Baby Metal, that all-female heavy metal band, was in town. Avatar was in town. Tonight, Bob Seger was in town. And if you like modern alternative royalty, I don't know if you like the Smiths or if you liked Morrissey, but Morrissey was live in concert tonight here. He just ended a few minutes ago, obviously singing his solo hits and the Smiths. So, damn, Utah's on fire. Last night, stabbing Wedsworth, LA Guns, and everything else. So, guess who's in town in 2 days? I'm going to do my best to see if I can, talk to him. Because I made up my mind I should probably get out a little bit and kind of get some coolness on my channel here. Robert effing Plant. I know his management company. They're going to pretend to know me back. And, boy, if I could just get Robert Plant, for 2 minutes to call in real quick, wouldn't that be kind of cool? But he's in town October 1st. Jerry Seinfeld. I watched 5 minutes of his show, and I was bored off my ass. What is cereal? I can't believe I see, but when I see cereal, is it real? Is the box real? When I look at the ingredients on the back of a box of cereal, all I see is real fattening calories and sugar. So real, I get it. Cereal. What the fuck am I talking about? You watch Chips on Netflix, on Hulu. It's free on YouTube. You want the best show ever made. Chips, CHP. You know what that means? Everyone thought it was California Highway Patrol. No. CHP means constipated Hillary Poontang. That's what it means. Forget that part. That's about as good as I can get. All right, I'm gonna be on the streets of rock and roll in 2 seconds, man. So, all right, I'll see you guys in just a little bit. All right, you guys have yourself a sweet ass evening, because I'm gonna go hit the streets real quick, and I'll see you guys. I'm gonna go live on Facebook one more time, and I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay? Peace and love. Yeah. Eric Estrada forever. Yeah, bitch.